So guys, the first speaker you're about to meet, his name is Matt Granados, and Matt talks about motivational excellence. And we figured in order to really set the day up right, we need to set up with someone to set our mindsets right. Honestly, when you watch Matt speak, it's like drinking from a fire hose, which is always my favorite kind of speaker. He brings the energy and he brings the heat.
Let me real quick, when we're talking about motivation, I'm not a motivational speaker at all. I haven't climbed Everest. I haven't pulled anyone out of a burning building, at least not yet. So I'm here to teach something that's sustainable, duplicatable for anybody. I don't care where you are. We've done this with companies as big as Google, Twitter, United States Air Force, down to startups, down to one-on-one coaching clients, and we love teaching it. But let me explain one thing. Here's what you got to recognize. Motivation is like a small flame that needs to be managed. So if I was to spark up motivation in your head, things are going really well. It's like a pilot light in your house, right? For your fireplace or for your furnace, if you've ever had one. When you have it done and managed properly, you just slightly turn it up and turn it down. Super safe, super easy. If it's not managed properly, you blow your house up. Motivation is just like that. Recently, we all got smacked in the face by this little thing called Corona. Here's what happened. Our abilities weren't taken from us. Our discipline wasn't taken from us. Our goals weren't taken from us and where we were trying to go. Here's what was taken from us, and we didn't know what to do. Number one was structure. Number two was rhythm. Structure brings freedom. Rhythm brings peace. Here's the structure of how we normally do it. First, when we're going to go over these 4 lies that you've been told about motivation throughout the years, I then will just quickly jump into 5 simple ways to create sustainable motivation. How to use this in current societal situations, right? The world is crazy right now. How in the world am I going to be motivating somebody in a time when there's so much things going wrong? Look, there's never enough time for motivation. There's never a right time or a wrong time, but it is always needed. And then finally, jumping into the next part where we're going to go into simple solutions to implement sustainable motivation. So those top 2 are the ones I'm going to focus on in detail as we go through this. And then I'll open it up for questions as you need. Motivation and being motivated is not a character trait, it's a state of mind. And if it's a state of mind, I or we can change that. So what stops motivation? This is a question I had to ask myself. I said, why in the world, if motivation's a choice, right? That was my kind of first thought on all this. Why in the world would somebody, including myself, ever choose to be not motivated? Well, it's simple. There's a difference between a motivated mindset and an unmotivated mindset. And it all happens right here in this place that I call the motivational synapse. When you're in a motivated state of mind, you are able to connect actions and outcomes. Meaning, when you're motivated, you're able to connect what the actions are you're taking and the results that you're going to get. But even better, when you're in a real motivated, this whole in-flow concept, your outcomes that you're seeing are actually energizing your current actions that you're taking. So it's this back and forth, just like a neuron. Unmotivated mindset is when a motivational wall goes up, just like this. Action pops up and outcomes are now not connected. So what I'm going to show you is how we connect those two. There's a simple system. How do we use this right now, right? The goal is if you know you know them, you know the system, you'll know the result. We talked about the 4 truths to live by. I gave you a quick breakdown on how the system that we use. And then finally, I want you to recognize the time when my wife told me I had no physical goal. And people ask, how do you finish an Ironman? I say the same thing. I say it's just simple. It's 1 stroke for 2.4 miles, followed by 1 press of the pedal for 112 miles. Then you just follow it up by 1 step for 26.2 miles. That's how you finish an Ironman. It's very, very simple. But I want you to see the pictures of me as I went through these phases. This is me at the very end with my beautiful, beautiful wife, Maria, right? I'm sitting here very happy, as you can always imagine, because I'm done. This is me during it, right? During it, I'm intense. I'm going. This is as fast as I'm going. And then this is me right before, scared out of my freaking mind. Right now, granted, I think my cap was on a little too tight. Bottom line, I was ready to go. I was excited to go. I'm about to jump into a river with about a couple thousand people to swim somewhere that I can't see, to then jump on a bike to go somewhere I can't see, to run somewhere I can't run. And I'm supposed to be excited about this. Now, the guy in front of me is having the time of his life, right? He's high-fiving. I'm trying to make sure I got a clean suit before I go in. This is where my head was. And people ask the question, what was the hardest step? And the hardest step was always the next step. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to find, discover, create, or buy a system that does this. Number 1, a system that will teach you and your team, whoever that might be, it could be your family, could be the people on your podcast, could be your friends, it could just be you, how to disregard the lies and listen to the truths. Know, use, and understand, KUU. Know, use, and understand motivation catalyst, right? In the book, we talk about the 4 things that spark a catalyst for you, spark motivation. The third thing, I want you to create a custom 90-day plan. What are you going to do over the next 90 days? Every coaching client, this is what we do. We teach exactly what it is, and then live according to the LP structure of success. Here's what that is. Number 1, you're going to do daily action, weekly planning, monthly celebration, and quarterly review.
So listen, you hit a lot of really great points. And what I love about when you're talking about motivation, you actually have actionable steps. So a lot of people talked about, how do I get over procrastination? You ask them to put like their pain points. So I saw that come up. What do you have to say to someone that's saying, hey, I'm procrastinating, I'm not ready yet, or whatever that is?
So procrastination's not a bad thing, is what I tell people. But you want to do it on purpose. Like, I have clients of mine who, like, they'll look at my LP, my little book, and they'll be like, you have Netflix in there. I'm like, yeah. I'm not saying don't have fun in life, but do it on purpose.
And they've done scientific research on this. What you just said is the quickest way to get people into action. Thank you for sharing this. What I would tell you is there's a lot of chat in the Whova app. If you go in there, Matt, guys, make sure I get Matt's emails. He's one of my favorite, what I would call motivational, but implement into action type speakers. You put it in a very unique way, Matt. You have a gift. I'm excited to watch you build this company. And I know a lot of people, he's not putting this out there, but Matt has consulted with very large companies that we all know. He literally motivates some of the top people in the world. And we're just really blessed that you're part of this community, and love all that you do. So thank you for being part of this, Matt. It means a lot to me.